Championships, day 3, weight category number 3 for the men. It is the men's senior 69 kilo class, and we are joining the action. So we go through the first round of the snatch. Now we have 7 lifters involved in the contest. France's Couturier dropped out at the last minute. It was going to be 8. So it should mean it should chip along fairly quickly here. So we do the snatch first, then a 15-minute break, on with the clean and jerk. See some big numbers being posted before the contest. Oleg Chen of Russia is still very much favourite for the competition. 2 Russians involved in this European Championship contest. And Felix Kalabekov is undoubtedly the number 2 favourite now. Bulgaria's Dian Minchev coming out on 133 kilograms. He posted 135. Alongside me, Colin Bryce, Kyla Breeze, former British champion, former European medalist and double Olympian.
Good lift there. Looks like he's complaining of his elbows, some discomfort. But Minchev will be very pleased there. Great run of lifts, 3 out of 3. Finishes on 133. See the slow-mo, just a second to steady himself. Grimacing a little bit.
Well, he's managed to hit all of his lifts, 128, 131, 133. Perhaps could have been a little bit bolder in that last lift. Up next to our Romanian, Florin Bejanariu, who posted a 135, and it's exactly what he is coming out at for his first lift. Just 20 years old, youngest man in the contest. His first ever senior international. European under-17s in 2011, was the champion.
Sits really nice and straight underneath that bar in the receiving position. It's always nice to get your first lift in. That's the pressure off. These lifters have to make at least 1 snatch, 1 clean and jerk to make a total. And the coaches are helping from the side there.
Yeah, I think they were worried he was leaning backwards there. And a good solid first lift. His PB's 145 in the snatch, 177 in the clean and jerk, set at a different body weight, 77 kilos, so when he was heavier, so only so much we can read into that. Coming out for his first snatch for Armenia is Vanik Vetisian, who posted 135. That's exactly what he's coming out at. Vetisian, 2010 under-23 champion.
Super quick into that bottom position. That was almost, instead of being a kick and catch, it was almost like a hit and hope. We watched the replay, just see that the bar was in front of him as he landed it. He had to take a couple of steps forward to get back underneath. Great recovery. A shake of the head there. That should have been easier than it was.
There is
Oleg Chen.
Yeah, Oleg Chen, champion last year.
100 kilos on the bar in the warm-up room.
Perhaps his clean and jerk, the weaker of the 2 disciplines. Snatch, very strong. Took second last year in the clean and jerk, though he took the overall title. Did a clean and jerk of 176. When it came to the snatch, he hit a 155, which you have to think if he did that today, it would be almost a certain gold in this field.
Well, you think so. Looking at the calibre of athletes and the weights that they've posted, Chen is by far out-and-out favourite. There's his teammate coming.
Felix Kalabekov, the Russian champion. Chen didn't take part this year. He was Russian champion 2 years ago. 145 kilograms, his PB in snatch. He's the under-23 European champion from last year.
Well, the Russians never failed to lack the athleticism. Superbly dynamic in every lift that you see from the Russians.
Yeah, he came about an inch off the ground there, didn't he? Really exploded.
So people think you've got to really lift your feet up and slam them into the floor to get that solid landing. That's not the case. If you can't hear your feet when you land, it's because you're landing toes first. To make the noise with your feet, you simply land on flat feet. And that's exactly what they do.
Sergei Kuchir of Moldova comes out for his first lift, 136 kilograms. The Moldovan's personal best, 143, a 175 clean and jerk. Fourth at the European Championships last year.
That's the way to do it. It wasn't that easy. First attempt. There's at least 3 more reps there.
Very impressive, yeah. Came out for a 137 last year, ended up hitting all 3 of his lifts for a 143 for that 4th place in the snatch.
Just watch the, hopefully we'll get another slow-mo replay, but the change in speed, the acceleration on that lift was tremendous.
Well, you look down his stick, there's Gökhan Ozanoglu. He came from the B group that lifted earlier today. The top 5 are all from the A group. So we still have 2 more men to join the party. Ekrem Agili of Turkey next out. His second attempt hit 130. Now going for 137. Pretty big increase in snatch.
Well, these men are weighing sub 69 kilos, so yeah, I'd say 7 kilos is quite a significant increase at this body weight. You tend to see these kind of increases in the 85s, 94s and beyond. Anywhere between 3 and 5 kilos is kind of the norm. Obviously it depends how it feels on the day.
Oh.
Well, these lifters are taught how to drop the weight safely. In my view there, he should have maybe let go of that a fraction earlier. You risk the elbows and shoulders buckling. But at this level of competition, you really want to fight and try and secure everything. See there, bar going backwards, trying to stand straight out and get himself back underneath the bar. Didn't quite pay off. Well, you can see he's well strong enough for the weight.
Isn't he just? Yeah, I mean, just going back to that 7 kilo increase. It's a big old jump. I know 130, it might have been a confidence builder if his warm-up hadn't have gone well, but still that's a big jump to do.
I definitely don't encourage anybody back home who's lifting to try and hold on to a weight that's going backwards like that. Definitely let go of it. It's not worth risking damaging an elbow. See the lifters prowling up and down, waiting their turn.
Yeah, still waiting for Oleg Chen to join in. We're expecting him, well, 150 is what he's posted. There's the Romanian. There's an Ariu who hit 135. We're expecting him to come out at 140 for his second lift. There's the Turkish head coach. Just keeping an eye on what the others are doing. It's a wonderful game of chess, weightlifting. And you can keep changing your weight and gambling and going higher. As for Ekrem Agili, though, 137 is what he's coming out for again. I think it's probably the right decision to go heavier from there. Would have been a mistake.
Yeah, I think he's well capable of this weight, but at the end of the day, he's got to land it and execute. He can't just dive underneath and hope for the best. And with these kind of weights, at this kind of body weight, there's very little room for error. Yeah,
and if he'd have gone even a kilo heavier to try and get someone else in, well, he wouldn't have done. All the others have posted 140 or above.
Well, almost overcompensated there, didn't quite get enough extension on the bar. That's a real shame. He's left back on 130. Really puts him out of the running, I think.
A poorer attempt than the first one, really, wasn't it? I've seen him do maybe 133, 34 in his second lift and then gone for something more. It's
all very well in hindsight.
And when you're sitting here. Next up, we'll beat the Romanian, who is going for, he's dropped it from 140 to 139. So 4 kilos of increase for his second attempt.
Well, very strong young man. I'd like to have seen chest a little higher before the bar came off the floor. As a result, that bar pulled him onto his toes, but he did really well to compensate. Very, very strong. Sitting so straight underneath the bar, that's the way to do it. That's to stand still, wait for the down signal.
So, good solid second lift there. He's into the lead by 3 kilograms with 1 lift to go. We're still awaiting Chen. Next out is the Armenian, who's going for 140 kilograms. His second attempt. Still, Chen is backstage and has posted 150. You wonder whether it's a good idea for Chen to join at some time a little lower than that, but have to wait and see. Still a long way away from that weight.
Super lifting, catches the bar in the deep squat position. If you want to know how to be a good weightlifter, there's no point in overlifting, i.e. pulling the bar higher than it needs to be. You can see a bar and he gets just past his belly button before he drops under. Very quick underneath the bar. Well, I wish we had a caption of the coaches in the bottom of the screen every lift. That would be entertaining.
Some are incredibly animated. Some don't flinch at all. Keep their poker face on. Klibikov of Russia. Up next for his second lift. 140 kilograms. And we're expecting him to be the best of the rest, as it were, behind his Russian compatriot.
Well, we're now looking at double bodyweight snatches. These guys weighing sub 69 kilos. So 140, solid in the receiving position. It doesn't get much better than that. See just how heavily these quads are built. That's the powerhouse of all these weightlifters. They spend hours and hours working on the legs. That's hours and hours a day.
Yeah, I was just discussing your current leg program. 5 days a week, squatting every day.
Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Yeah, it is the meat and 2 veg of weightlifting. If you haven't got the leg power, then you can forget it. Now, coming out is Moldovan, Sergei Kuchir. And Kuchir is going for his second lift, 141 kilograms, so 5 kilos of increase from 136. This would put him ahead of the Russian Klibikov.
Well, that's how to finish a lift. Full body extension at the top before dropping under. Aggressive, explosive. Note that aggression is fully controlled.
Very similar pattern to last year. 136, 141. Last year he did 137, 141, and then 143 for his final lift. But that left him 2 kilograms outside of a bronze medal in the snatch last year, Kuchir.
Well, he has a personal best of 143, so is he going to at least equal that, maybe go a kilo more? he's in the shape to do it.
Bejanariu of Romania coming out for his third and final snatch, 142 kilograms, to go ahead of Kacir.
It's a great fight to steady himself. You can see the arm shaking there. 3 out of 3 lifts. Can't be too disappointed with that.
Yeah, you can tell from the shout, he was right on his limit there. He came out and achieved probably what he wanted, or maybe even a little bit more. There they are.
And he's one of the heavier lifters in the weight category, so if 2 lifters lift the same, then the lighter man will win.
Yeah, at worst, 5th place for him. He'll be hoping that some of the others now fail their attempts and he can get himself close to the medals. So our Armenian coming out for 142 kilograms. Misses it, so 140, his second lift. He's claiming that, I think, that the collar wasn't on properly there. Is that right? Or surely not a misload?
Well, I don't think the bar's misloaded. It does happen occasionally. Let's just have a look at the rerun. No, there's nothing wrong with that. He's complaining that the collar was loose, but if they show it again, you can see part of the collar that's sticking out there with a black bobble on the end. It moves, and it's allowed to move. That doesn't have anything to do with how tight the collar is. That's what the loaders use to tighten it up with. Yeah, and if you're hitting the lift, that's not going to put you off really. That's a grabbing and an excuse, I think. The weights didn't slide, so there should have been no issue there. No. 143 next, 3 kilograms increase for Klibakov, the Russian champion. Though he is still Russia #2 very much, as Oleg Chen, the Russian we haven't seen yet, the only man still to come in. We're still expecting him at 150. Now, if Klibakov gets this, it should guarantee him at worst 3rd place. And he's got it, goodness me, right back on his heels. That nearly went out the back door. Well, again, 3 out of 3. It's all the time you see lifters trying to start too heavy and risking it. Oh, you can see his toes right off the floor. But no, 3 out of 3, this is where it's important, the consistency, and he was very consistent there. And not much he could do there except just try and stand up and hope. Get up as quick as possible before he balanced it. So Kacir, 143, his body weight 68.6 compared to the Russians 68.86. So he is the lighter man. So by virtue of body weight, Kacir will now guarantee himself the silver medal, with Chen still to do all 3 lifts. Magnificent, he's nailed it, and that has guaranteed him the silver. So Kacir, who hit 4th place last year in the European Championships of Snatch, this year has gone 2 better. Do you know what? There's probably a bit more there, but he has to play the competition, has to put himself in the best possible position for the right medal. He did that, 3 out of 3, great lifting. So Oleg Chen to join the party, 145. Well, we assume this is a very comfortable opener for Chen. We imagine it'll probably go something like 145, 150, and maybe 155 for his third. His PB is 160, so he's well within himself here. That's it, he's been watching the competition, or his coaches have been watching the rest of the competition. He originally had a 150 posted. The fact he's brought it down to 145 doesn't mean he's not in good shape. This is just to secure the gold medal on the snatch before he goes for anything else. And you can see here Chen's hand positioning, very, very narrow. He's got very short arms. And that stagger forwards is partly as a result of where he has his hands.
That's incredibly narrow. It's the position for a lot of people's jerk, isn't it?
That's right, and you know, these guys are quite short. Chen has quite short arms, great levers for weightlifting. In my view, his hand should be a bit wider, but hey, who am I going to... I'm not going to tell him that.
Yeah, he's won the gold. That is the gold medal lift right there. And although he's got 2 more lifts and doesn't look wildly excited, I think he expected, I think everybody expected he'd come out, but by how much will he win? He needs to extend his total, try and put another 5, if not 10 kilos on the others. So we're still awaiting the second lift to be posted. It's automatically generated at 146. That's 1 kilogram of increase. And a little conferring there with his coaches. What do you think he'll go for?
I'm not sure what kind of mindset he's in here, whether or not he's looking for a personal best. It's a long way up for a personal best, which is 160. If he's going to be close to that, he needs to take quite a large increase now between first and second attempt. He might be playing it safe. Let's get 150 in. He has 2 chances to change the bar. The bar automatically, as you said, goes up by 1 kilo. He can then change it twice. Well, he's gone to 151.
So he's playing the game where you can change and then just buy yourself a little more time on the clock, which is all very sensible. And what is the perfect amount of time between 2 well, close to personal best snatches when you're in competition? What would be the ideal amount? Well,
I think for a snatch, probably a little bit less than clean and jerk. I'd probably like to have 2-3 minutes. Much less than that and you can still be blowing, muscles or body's still recovering. Much longer than that and your body starts to switch off. So it's a very fine balance. And sometimes when these lifters have 4, 5, 6 plus lift between attempts, they'll sometimes go back into the warm-up room, pop a lighter weight just to keep the legs ticking over.
So here is confirmation, 145, 2 kilograms above the rest. Kachir of Moldova in second, Chen very much in the gold medal position. And now he's thinking about the total. Try to extend his lead here in the snatch, which is his much more powerful movement. He is beatable in the clean and jerk, as we saw last year, taking the silver medal there behind the Albanian Gadeli. Still on today's form, we'd expect him to probably win the clean and jerk too. Going for 151 and another superb lift there.
Well, that was better than his first attempt. Really wanted that one. A lot more fire in the belly, fire in the legs. Maybe the first lift a little complacent, but this was near perfection. So fast into the receiving position. There are a lot of lifters out there that I've seen and I've coached, catching the bar very high in that receiving position and then kind of riding it down, controlling it into the deepest position. What we've just seen there from Chen is absolute perfection, catching it right at the bottom. No time wasted, no energy wasted. Brilliant lifting. Yeah,
there's almost a fractional pause there. You see a lot of lifters, when it's right at maximal lift, they have to get the bounce, really, don't they? And that's was a harder thing to ride there. He seemed to just pause and control, and it was a guaranteed lift, really, for him.
Yeah, the snatch is not so important to catch the bounce. You can land it at the bottom, sit there for a second before standing up. The clean, however, for people like myself who are lacking in the leg strength, really do need to use the whip on the bar. So as you hit that deep squat position, the aim is to drive straight out, so you catch the bend on the bar, and that just gives you a bit of extra momentum. If you miss that whip, then it can bury you.
Absolutely, and it's actually the same theory physiologically as when a doctor does taps your knee with a little hammer, and you get a reflex, Golgi tendon reflex. There we are, bring back my university days, and then that stretch reflex fires you up again, because believe it or not, you can't actually work every muscle fiber in your leg without through just voluntary control. It needs that extra stretch, and that's what these weightlifters work on. Now, what's the next weight? 155 kilograms is what's been posted. Oh, he's used a change from the previous.
I think he'll come out at 155. I don't think he's good for a new personal best today, but 155 will seriously establish himself way at the top of the leaderboard. 12
kilograms more than the other Russian, Kalibakov, and Kachir, who by body weight is also on 143, but in second position, the Moldovan. So here we go, little smelling salts, ammonia salts, just a sharp shot of pain to the head to fire him up. 4 kilos of increase. It's still well below his personal best, but a long way away from the rest of the field. So he's missed it, 155, so he has to settle for 151 for his second lift. Let's have a look at this again.
Threw his shoulders back too much at the top, trying to give it that bit too much. Let go of it in plenty of time though, so he didn't hurt himself. You imagine holding on to that weight for a bit longer. There go the shoulders.
Yeah, luckily these guys are pretty flexible. 155 then, failed on the last lift, but 151 his second lift. Oleg Chen of Russia has taken the gold in the snatch. Kachir on 143 by virtue of body weight is ahead of the other Russian, Felix Kalibakov. And we now have about 15 minutes before we come out for the clean and jerk. Welcome back to Tel Aviv. These are the highlights of what we've just seen in the men's senior 69 kilo class snatch. Now this lift was to give Felix Kalibakov third place, the bronze medal, a lift of 143 kilograms.
Well, that was a big fight. You can see him right back on his heels there as he stood up for that. Big effort, 3 out of 3 in the snatch phase, 143. He only lost a silver medal by virtue of heavier body weight.
That's right, as Sergei Kachir then followed in, also going for 143, playing the game, as he was the lighter man by just 26 grams from the weigh-in. As you'll see, this lift was pretty easy, and he may well have been worth a couple of kilograms more. Last year, he came 4th in the snatch. This was to give him the silver medal.
Well, that's one of the quickest lifts you're going to see at this European Championships, and for such a tall guy as well. Very, very fast underneath the bar. You can see he's chuffed to pieces with that silver medal.
Well, that just left Oleg Chen to join the party, still with 3 lifts to go. Last year's champion came out well below what he posted, 145 kilograms. That was to be very easy. Then 151, and then he went up by 4 kilograms to 155. So this, the 151, little pause at the bottom, drove it up without any difficulty at all. That was the gold medal lift of 151. He then went on to do 155, but missed it. And going into the next phase then, he has a fairly comfortable lead over the rest of Europe. Welcome back to Tel Aviv, where the clean and jerk phase is about to begin in the men's senior 69 kilo class. 7 lifters involved in this A group. Oleg Chen is the man in the driving seat at the moment. We're expecting to see out Florin Vejanariu of Romania first, 155. And Oleg Chen has posted a 175, which is over 5 kilograms more than anyone else's opener. previous group's best. Gökhan Ozanoglu of Turkey hit a 1.61, which in comparison to the rest of Europe actually is far closer than his winning snatch, which was a 1.30. It's often a battle, isn't it, to try and get into the A group. All lifters want to be there. That's the televised one. Occasionally there's little tricks where they'll try and drop a man into the B group if they feel he's a little inexperienced and might not handle the limelight so well.
Yeah, you can mess around a bit with the entry totals. The entry totals are submitted way before the competition starts. If you put your total in high, you sometimes do that to try and make the A group. It used to really mess up, I guess, TV years and years ago. So they changed the ruling, and that now your starting weights have to add up to within 20 kilos of the total that you post, and for women within 15 kilos. So that stops lifters from putting in ridiculously high entry totals. But at the same time, there's nothing to stop a lifter putting in a low total, lifting out their skin, and we saw this at the Olympic Games in London.
The North Korean,
absolutely,
famously, yeah,
that won a medal from the gold medal from the B group.
World record as well, wasn't it?
It was unbelievable, but
yeah,
you know, some lifters don't perform well under the pressure, and by lifting in the B group, the pressure's off. There's less people in the crowd, and yeah, you don't get caught up in the fight.
Quite a lot of blue there, and that means good lifts in the snatch. You don't normally see so few misses, actually, just 4 of the 21 attempts. 155, you can see the white box on the right. Florin Bezanariu of Romania, soon to start.
See another 25 kilo disc going on there. The discs are colour coded. The heaviest weight is 25, which is red. Blue weights are 20, yellow is 15, and the green is 10.
So this for Oleg Chen. He'll be just a pretty early warm-up for him. 120 kilograms on the bar, and wonder how much the two Russians, the two real favourites for the contest, actually chat backstage, or whether they try and avoid each other completely.
You probably find they're on different platforms, different coaches. I think Oleg Chen is struggling with a bit of a rip on his left hand. It looked like he was holding it when he came off the platform.
A callus
after his last snatch. Yeah, he could well have ripped a callus off, but hey, it's only pain. Fill it with chalk and it will stop bleeding.
Yeah, they get, you can really, as so many weightlifters who just do it recreational know, you really thicken out your hands. You have to often file them down and look after them very well. Top weightlifters. Oleg Chen leads with 151. As we look towards the total, he is 8 kilograms ahead of Kuchir of Moldova, and indeed the Russian Kalibakov is compatriot, so he's got a big margin on the rest of the field, and he is expected to win the clean and jerk as well, so he may well do a sweep of the gold medals here at the European Championships. Well, first man's expected out in a moment or two. 15 minutes, just about enough to get your head switched into clean and jerk. Too much longer and you'll be well, you'll be starting to get tired by the time you get out for your third lift, especially if you've lifted early in the snatch.
That's it, you time your warm-up so that you've taken your last warm-up lift just before they call you on the platform. And as was evident in the last 2 days, some of the best lifters in the snatch have had very little time to warm up for the clean jerk because they're first out on the jerk. So 15 minutes is good.
Bulgaria, the first man to be called out. A little bit of chopping and changing there. 159 kilograms, his opener. 7th at the European Championships in 2012, 9th overall in 2013. 30 years old, oldest man in the contest.
It's a fairly solid opening attempt. Almost looks a bit robotic in movement, not flowing as well as it should.
Yeah, he's not exactly exuding zip, is he? He's,
no, you can just see there in picture the back position was very arched. That's going to put a lot of strain on the lower back. Not the ideal position to be in, but he had to because he kind of had his head back from the bar.
Slap for Ekrem Agili, who comes out for his first clean and jerk, 160 kilograms. That's what he's called for. First attempt. Agili's best snatch, 130. Minchev's best snatch, 133. They were comfortably the lowest snatchers in the A group. So most likely battling for 6th and 7th place here.
Oh, he did well to get himself back underneath the bar there. He's going to be disappointed after the snatch, so he's done well to get himself a total. Let's see how much further he can go now in the competition.
Well, 160 is good, but it wasn't exactly easy.
It's a bit of a yank off the floor as well, which will lose power. Good extension. Works hard. Has to drop his head, bend his knees to get back underneath. That's good core control, good functional control.
So by a yank, you'd prefer to see just a squeeze and then go?
Yeah, I prefer to see really strong back, nice long arms, so that all the effort is coming from the legs straight through the floor. There's no need to waste effort by giving it a yank at the start.
Florent Pesnariu going for 161. Now this would equal Ozanoglu, who won the B group earlier. Almost looked like bent arms there through the first phase.
He's very much an upper body lifter. He's going to get that. But, not the best technically. Very army in the way he lifts.
Yeah, muscled it up. You can see why he's got the big biceps. It looked like he just bent his arms a bit there.
Yeah, but you've got to ask the question, which is stronger, arms or legs? It should be legs. And as soon as the arms come in, though, as soon as you bend those arms, the legs cannot be effective. So had to work way harder than he needed to. He's really not using his legs to full capacity.
Muscled it up to 3 white lights, though. He's in the lead. Out comes Kalibakov, the Russian champion. 162 for his opener. He's in 3rd place in the snatch, a 143 from that phase.
I like his snatches, very solid in the receiving position. Good drive to arm's length. Has to bring his feet back in line. No problems.
162 looks good for a whole lot more. And all of the others who still haven't joined yet, Kachir, Chen and Vatisyan of Armenia, have all posted much higher, 168, 167, 175. So we expect to see some more of the lifters we've seen previously. And it looks like Dejan Minchev of Bulgaria will be coming out at 164. Currently on a 292 total, which has him in 3rd place. These 5 kilos won't actually make a dent on anybody else higher up than him. And of course, with 3 lifters still to join in, you He's starting to look like he might finish in somewhere around probably 6th overall.
And again, I'm not liking his jerk position, I'm just worried about his back. But very, very strong. Has to work hard out of the clean. Bar sitting quite heavy on his windpipe. Pushing the bar out in front there, you can see his body is back from the bar, and to compensate, he has to arch his lumbar spine.
Turkey's a Gilly next. Our other lifter, Ozanoglu, won the B group earlier. Ozanoglu now has been bumped down to 4th place overall. Gilly is in 5th, so he needs a kilogram from his 160 to go ahead of Ozanoglu, but 165 will put him way ahead of his compatriot.
Just taking his time. The lifters have a minute from when they're called to when they need to start the lift. There's nothing wrong with taking your time at the back of the platform to compose yourself. That buzzer, the 30-second buzzer. There is also a clock on the platform, so the lifters will know exactly how long they have. Great shoulder flexibility there. You see the position he's in overhead. These kind of weights, the lifts have to be precise. He's catching the weight, he's sitting into his left side. That's going to predispose him to injury if he's not careful. Obviously this is one of the very few sports out there that is completely symmetrical, bar the jerk obviously.
Or should be anyway.
It should be, yeah. Sometimes see lifters as they stand up out of a heavy clean, the hips go to one side. That's nothing more than a weakness, and a muscle imbalance.
Florin Bejnariu coming out for 166, his 2nd lift. Little wobble of the right elbow, hopefully okay for him.
And he's a very, very strong young man, you can't deny that. Yeah, well spotted, centre referees picked that up as well. It's harder to see from the angles. You have 3 referees, one is sat directly in front and then one either side. Very strong but very laboured, lacking the sharpness, the explosiveness of some lifters, and that's simply because he's trying to use his upper body through both the clean and the jerk.
2 white lights to 1 red, it's a majority, and unless the jury were to stand in, which it doesn't appear they are going to, so it stands 166 kilograms of Bejnariu. Jan Minchev takes a hit of the smelling salts, getting fired up for his final lift, and this will make it 6 out of 6 for him. Having hit all 3 of his snatches, finishing on a 133 there. This 167 for Minchev. His personal best a 171. He is now 30 years old. Minchev finished at 10th overall in the European Championships last year with a 290 total. This will take him up over 300 kilograms, which is far better than last year.
keeping the bar moving, using the bounce to drive out. Some movement in the elbows.
Yeah, I think he'll be lucky.
I don't know, I think he's going to get that.
Front referee, no. One of the side judges there saw
well, you can see him holding his back as well, so that position that I was talking about earlier, where his lumbar spine is at risk of injury. Just having to work very hard there.
Yeah, it wasn't so much movement with the elbows, was it? It was more just shifting around. Dejan Minchev bullies up 167 to take the lead in the clean and jerk, a kilo ahead of the Romanian. Felix Klibakov of Russia comes out for his second lift in the clean and jerk. Hit all of his snatches to 143. Six kilos of increase from his first lift. And we still have three lifters that we haven't seen yet in the clean and jerk: Kachir, Chen, and the Armenian Vitisyan.
Nice, no time wasted, no energy wasted. Just needs to be careful, the bar must be stationary on the shoulders after the clean. He literally did the clean straight into the dip and drive. That did not look to be a limit. Working hard from the floor, good extension, bar hit him hard at the bottom, but used the whip to stand up. Great drive to arm's length.
Oleg Chen comes out at 169. Now he came out far later than any other of the lifters in the snatch. As I said earlier, the clean and jerk, he's slightly weaker of his two lifts, and he's playing safe here.
You can only assume that the warm-up has not gone to plan. He's put the starting weight down quite considerably. He's in pain. He's struggling with something.
Yeah, you're right. He just grimaced at the end there. Off he goes now by hitting that 169. Add that to his 151. And he's got a pretty juicy total already.
I reckon that's his knee, you know. As he landed the clean, he was just on one leg slightly.
Yeah,
he's limping.
That's a very good spot again. Puts him on a 320 total. He's way up in first place, 9 kilograms ahead of Klibakov, the other Russian, and he might have done enough already to take this entire competition. We'll have to wait and see. Sergei Kachir did a 143 snatch to take second place in the snatch, and when he does this 169, it still will leave him way short of what Chen has just posted.
That is a heavy first attempt on the clean. Hands very close. This is a long way now for him to drive the bar overhead. But it's good. Needs to stand still. That's relief. That's relief we see right there. That's taken a lot out of him.
Wow, was that leg power? Just 169, really struggling on an opener. Nice jerk phase though. Got long arms as well.
Well, he has a lot of lifters who are that tall, will move their hands out a bit wider for the jerk, but he obviously suffers like I do with lack of flexibility in the elbows. I physically cannot take my hands any wider than the position he's in there. Any wider than that and I end up dropping my elbows and losing the platform that the bar rests on. So that's one of my weaknesses. He obviously suffers with the same problem.
And that's shoulder flexibility, is it?
Elbow flexibility. I physically cannot get my elbows any higher if my hands go wider. I think it's elbows and wrists. I think he's probably suffering with a rib there by the looks of it. Struggling to breathe.
Coming out now is Florin Mejnariu for his third and final. He's gone up by 3 kilograms from that successful 166. If he gets this, it will be 6 out of 6 for the Romanian. And we'll take him up to 311 kilograms.
Well, it may look untidy, maybe quite army, but 6 out of 6 I should say. Some very consistent lifting there.
Excellent lifting, and that was probably the most convincing of all of his lifts actually. There was potential errors in his previous two. Up it went though. 311 kilos, equal with Klibikov, but the lighter man. So next up it's going to be Vanek Evtisian of Armenia coming out for his first lift. The last man to join the competition with 171 kilograms. Failed his last snatch, did a 140 in the end. So this will take him straight up to a total of 311 kilograms. And he is even lighter than the Romanian who just lifted, so he'll go into third.
Let's go!
Now that bar looked to sit very heavy on his shoulders, but he got rid of it very quickly overhead. Very solid, very fast.
So 3 men on 311 kilograms. He is the lightest of them. And in third place overall, Sergei Kachir of Moldova is in second on 312. And the leader of the competition for the overall title, Oleg Chen, on 320. He's a long, long way away from the others. I'm not sure we'll even see Oleg Chen lift again unless they put the pressure on him because of that injury.
Well, I think the sensible thing to do if he is going to take another lift is just to sit tight, wait, see what everybody else does, and then come out for one more attempt to secure the gold on the clean and jerk.
You don't think it would be worth him doing it now when it's just adding a couple more kilos? It looks like he's coming out actually, because what's the fear is if he waits too long, his injury might hamper him and he might not be able to do it.
Well, he is coming out 172, you're right.
So he's just going 3 kilograms up. Now remember, this is a man with a 184 kilogram personal best.
He's not happy though, he's grimacing already before he's even on the platform. At this point now he needs to put the pain out of his mind.
Yeah, this is an easy training weight probably for him most days, but with the pain, let's see. Favouring his right leg. Should be good. It is, yep, 172. And with that, 3 more kilograms, he goes up to a total of 323 kilograms. And I think that is now pretty much out of reach for anybody else. Though that 172 may not be the winner in the clean and jerk. But he gives himself a chance of medaling. Moldova next. And it is Sergei Kachir coming for 172. Kachir lighter than Chen by around 40 grams. So by equaling Chen here, he will go into the lead of the clean and jerk.
I love the speed. That's one very happy man.
Yeah, just pinged out of the bottom. He didn't do it in the 169 attempt, his first lift.
Watch the whip on the bar. As that bar bends, he drives straight out. Perfect timing. Really uses his legs. You can see there, his arms are not massive. Compared to some of the other guys we've seen, he's not lifting this with upper body strength. He's using his legs to drive overhead.
So looking at the total, 323 for Oleg Chen. He's 8 kilograms ahead of Kachir, who we've just seen lift. And then there's a A battle brewing here, 2 men on 3:11, the Armenian and the Romanian. Ekram McGilly comes out for his third and final, 172, 7 kilos of increase. Well, what is he trying to do with this? I guess just get a medal in the clean and jerk, because his overall total is going to be pretty poor with the 130 snatch he did earlier.
This looks like the weight to take. Chen is by far the heavier man. He's weighed in at a full 69 kilos on the nail.
I think that was...
too heavy?
Yeah, I guess that's what, yeah. Just how would you describe that? Just a hope and a prayer coming out for that one.
He's had a long wait as well between his second and third attempt. No excuses though. That one fully nailed him.
So Sergei Kachir is leading this clean and jerk. 2 men on 172. Chen, the heavier man, in second. Avatissian of Armenia, a kilo back. He still has 2 lifts. And he's very light for the category, 68.2 kilograms. This is the other Russian, Felix Klibakov, going for 172. Now this would equal Oleg Chen. He's the lighter man, so Russia would be first and second in the clean and jerk. Actually, that's incorrect. The Moldovan is slightly lighter. So, to go into third in the clean and jerk.
Wow. Ooh. No, goodness me. I don't know if he's going to get that. Did his elbows come out of lock? Or was it shoulder movement? Let's see what the referees think.
It felt like shoulder. Yeah, 3 white lights.
I think if his elbow bent, that bar was going to come back down. Great effort. That is a man on his limit.
I think that was a good call by
to the bottom.
The referees there. Let's have a look again. Big shift. Ooh, maybe his right elbow fractionally, but...
No, it was a great effort to fight, to keep it there.
So the Russian coach is still with plenty of thinking to do. Will Chen come back out? I imagine he's just ticking over backstage. If I saw him just on the left of the screen there a minute ago, he's got his tracksuit on, looking like he's still keeping warm just in case he has to pull out another one. And indeed, he might still fancy it for the clean and jerk to take the gold medal there. But when you're forcing yourself on an injury, is it worth it for the long term? So next will be the Vanik Artissian of Armenia. Artissian going for his second lift, 175 kilograms. This is quite a way ahead of what anyone else has attempted so far.
Locking onto the bar, thumbs trapped between his fingers and the bar. Hook grip so he doesn't lose it. Oh.
Well, 10 out of 10 for effort. Avatissian really went for that. Right on the limit of his leg power here. Watch the jerk overhead.
Drive wasn't bad, the position wasn't bad, just a slight wobble in the arms that put him off balance. That's a real shame, he's wasted a lot of energy.
So Sergei Kachir of Moldova leading this clean and jerk contest. Equal with Klibakov, but due to body weight, the Moldovan is in the driving seat at the moment, and he has 1 lift to go. Chen, well, he's injured. Will he take his last lift? He's already won, looking very likely to win the total. And then Avatissian of Armenia. Well, we've just seen him fail 175. Maybe he'll go for 176. Try and buy himself some time. 175 then for Sergei Kachir.
I believe Chen has increased his third and final attempt as well, probably to 176. He wants the gold on the clean and jerk.
Mai sus, deodată îți scoli cu dâns să nu te relaxa.
Oh, what a fight. Great effort. That'll be the first lift he's failed all day. 143 in the snatch, 172 then in the clean and jerk. 315 overall, and looks like he's pretty much uncatchable now. Chen's already taken the overall then. Avitisian, he sits down on 311, Kachir on 315. Avitisian would have to stick on, well, 179 to take on Kachir. Having just failed 175, I think we can say the Moldovan will be the overall silver medalist. Avitisian then coming out for his third and final lift. This will take him up to 315 kilograms, and with Kachir having just missed that previous lift, he is under threat here. Avitisian, if he gets this, will get equal 315, and by body weight will go from fourth all the way up to second overall. And he's done it, having failed it just a few moments ago to what looked like a lack of leg strength. Powers it up, and he goes into second overall, 315 kilograms, absolutely equal with Kachir of Moldova, who will be even more upset now that he just missed that 175, as he has no more attempts to come back.
Well, Russia 1 and 2. This is going to be a big test for Oleg Chen now, to see if that knee will hold out. One more lift. This will give him the clean sweep of all gold medals.
Second lift, 172, 4 kilos, but he's carrying the injury. Oh, look at that left knee.
He's in a lot of pain, needs to stand still.
Wow, never has a man deserved the lift more. I think he'll get it. He certainly thinks he'll get it. 176. The final lift of the entire competition. There's confirmation. Brilliant stuff. So the triple gold for Oleg Chen. He did it in the snatch. Now nailed it in the clean and jerk.
That's a gutsy lift, it really is. Big fight there through the pain to steady himself.
And wins by a very long margin for the overall, thanks to that 8 kilogram win in the snatch. Here's the results. Confirmation: Oleg Chen of Russia, 176, a kilogram ahead of the Armenian, who was 3 kilograms ahead of Kachir of Moldova, who just missed that final 175. It would be great to see him have one more attempt at that. And then Glibakov, who was quite a bit heavier than the others, ended up down in fourth. And these are the B group lifters from earlier. Well, in a moment or two, we'll have the overall results, a combination of the snatch and the clean and jerk. But we know for sure that this man, he's
just having a rerun of that last attempt, I think.
Yeah, the number one lifter, just having a little look back here. The contest is over. This is how he did it.
Great extension on the clean, works hard there, that bar dropping on his left side. Lovely and straight with the back. His lumbar back perfectly safe. Fantastic effort. 176 kilos to close the men's 69 category.
Well, he limps off after a successful day. That's even better than he did last year, with 2 golds and a silver last year. Silver in the clean and jerk, does one better here. So 151, 176, a 327 total. Look at that, 12 kilograms ahead of Vitisian of Armenia, who took second place. And then further on down the order, you can see all of the B group lifters that had gone earlier.